you are doing the double hip squeeze, you are actually putting your hands on the buttocks and you are moving soft tissue and bony tissue, all right? This takes a lot more effort to do. People confuse the pelvic press with the double hip squeeze all the time. They say, I'm gonna do the double hip squeeze, and they're really doing the pelvic press, all right? So that happens a lot. I see that in videos a lot. So in fact, I'm gonna show you one today where he says I was doing the double hip squeeze, and it doesn't look like that at all. Looks like he's doing the pelvic press, okay? So, and also doing the double hip squeeze well and doing it effectively is a matter of technique, okay? So, who wants to be my demo person? Yeah, go ahead, Naomi. So, yeah. So, I'm going to have you, so in order, you don't need to get into position yet. I'm just going to move this for a second. So, but you want to make sure that the chair is up against the wall, okay, for the person, because when you're using that force, you are, they are going to be, you want to make sure that the chair is stable, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to reach around on your own behind and find those hollows, so that are in the center of each one of your buttocks, okay? So you can walk your fingers around until you find that kind of soft center. All right, and when you push in that center, there's a little nerve in there, so you might feel a little nerve response, okay? So once you find the center in your own buttocks there, then what I want you to do is I want you to bend over, okay? So I want you to bend over, see where they go, see where they get firm. Now what I want you to do is I want you to bend your knees forward and see how they disappear and how much more firmer your butt gets. Now go back to straight legs, all right? And now we can still find that squishy spot in the center. So we want to make sure that the person we're doing it on, that their knees aren't forward, because that's going to stabilize the pelvis and we're not going to be able to move it. So that's why their knees need to be right up underneath their hips, okay? So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to picture a clock face in front of you. 12, 3, 6, and 9. And you're going to put your hands where the 5 and the 7 are. That's where you're going to put your palms. And you're going to be pointing your fingers towards that 12 o'clock. So when you're looking at your hands on somebody's behind when you're doing the double hip squeeze, that's where you want to make sure your fingers are pointing towards the 12. Okay? So that's what you're going to want to see that your hands are doing. All right. So Naomi, let's go ahead and have you get into place. And it's important for you to put your chest on the pillow, okay? So now that her chest is on the pillow, now I can look at her behind and her legs and say, okay, great. So her knee is right underneath her pelvis. That means that it's going to be much more easier for me to move. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to locate those hollows in her behind. So once again, I'm going to come around behind here. So in order for you to see what I'm doing, you're going to need to come around, all right? And pelvises are different from one another. So her hollows, I think, is this where you found them too?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to put this palm here, and I'm going to put this palm here, and you can see that to point them towards 12 isn't straight up like that, but it's a little bit over, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gently grasp, just gently grasp that tissue with my hands, and then I'm going to think about my elbows. And I'm actually going to now, when I put that force in, I'm going to do it from my elbows towards that 12 o'clock. Okay, just like that. You feel something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That means I'm doing it right. So I'm going to relax and I'm going to do it again. So they're just gently grasping, using my elbows, going towards the 12. Okay? So now we'll come around and help you with that.